I was so caught up in that thing and that idea that I was clever and I was doing that, but then I had the realization is when I started really looking at the customer experience, when I was looking at what they were going through and how they were looking at Chipotle and the things, I realized my contribution to that was just a fraction of the brand experience overall. So when a customer was going into the restaurant, and the music is set right, and they walk up and they find someone friendly who's helping them, and the food is cooked right, and they go through that whole process, I realized that's where 85–90% of the brand experience truly resided. That all the stuff I was creating was just a veneer. It was just a very superficial aspect of what the true brand experience was. And that brand experience in the restaurant had to be dialed in. It had to be good because the best ad in the world will never correct a crappy customer experience. It won't do it. You can be so clever and so amazing up here, but if your customer goes in and it's a lousy experience, you'll never fix that. And likewise, a crappy ad, well, who cares because no one remembers. What was the last time you saw, what was the last Gap ad you saw? Do you even remember? No, it's just part of this wash of stuff that's thrown at you. So I had this realization that I didn't matter. As a creative, I really didn't matter. I was just sort of on the periphery of where that brand experience was. And so I started thinking, well, what makes the brand experience authentic? How do we make that experience in the restaurant branded, because you can't control 60,000 employees. You can't control that environment, so how can you instill the brand into that space so it becomes quote unquote branded? So I came up with this idea of sort of creating an authentic brand. So the essence of brand. First of all organizations have values that are demonstrated through their actions. By identifying and amplifying a company's core values, like-minded people who resonate with them are drawn towards the organization. So the first part of this is just recruitment. So some people just want a job and a paycheck, but other people are like, well, yeah, I want a job and a paycheck, but I want it to be meaningful, especially as you look at Gen Z right now. If everyone is living within that culture, and my idea at Chipotle was everything that we were giving to the people in the restaurants in terms of how we were talking and speaking and what we were doing, if they were being trained in that mindset, we understood that when they were interacting with our customers, they would be coming from the same place. The values create the culture that ultimately becomes what I would say reflected in the brand.